Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sky Sports, Man United have held positive talks with Raphael Varane's representatives. Man United were given permission to speak to Raphael Varane's camp. Nothing has been agreed yet. The personal terms are not expected to be a problem. Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that Man United are now back in direct contact with Real Madrid for Varane. After opening talks weeks ago. Says negotiations on the personal terms are not an issue. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Man United are still awaiting Real Madrid's response on the Raphael Varane approach. Varane likes Man United's offer to join. Raphael Varane and his family are house hunting in Manchester. Man United are close to agreeing the personal terms for Varane. He says Varane's move to Manchester United could be delayed. He says Varane is happy to wait another year for a switch to Man United. But Man United are nearing an agreement for Varane. Varane is planning to travel to Manchester after his current holiday. We want to get Varane for, £50 million. A swap deal has been discussed. It says Man United are willing to offer Paul Pogba or Donny van der Beek as part of the Varane deal. The other week, he said that Real Madrid wanted Donny van der Beek on loan as part of the Varane deal. But Varane can leave Real Madrid. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but he rejected it. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. Man United want a third significant signing after the Varane transfer. Varane has been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them for like 10 years. He's made 360 appearances in all competitions. He's won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. We went in for him 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and back in 2018, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. But he is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. I think Man United are going to endure a very good summer transfer window. Because I am convinced that Solskjaer is going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. It's about time he got the backing he deserves, because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. So far we've made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we brought Tom Eaton in on a free transfer from Aston Villa, and we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Solskjaer's made it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Our board said they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings. And it said just before the summer transfer window opened that Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget. Man United are going to offload players in this summer transfer window because obviously there is still deadwood at the club. We could offload Alex Tellez in this summer transfer window. Sky in Italy said that Roma are in talks to sign left-back Alex Tellez as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Tellez has only endured 1 season at Man United. The reason we brought Tellez in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. When we got Tellez last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately, but didn't happen. He's only made 9 appearances in the Premier League. We got Tellez for 15.4 million from Porto, and he's under contract with Man United until 2024. We could offload De Gea in this summer transfer window. You know, if we was to sell De Gea, you know, we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. You know, De Gea, he's still a world-class goalkeeper, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. Don't forget, he's won everything domestically at the football club. He's made over 500 appearances in all competitions, and he was our number 1 for such a long time. He said not so long ago that De Gea could be loaned out for next season to make room in our goalkeeping department. I'm expecting De Gea to hold talks with Solskjaer now over his future because the Euros are over. ESPN said that De Gea is unsure on Solskjaer's final decision. De Gea's been long serving though at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. Has he got like 2 years left on his current contract and he's on £375,000 a week? De Gea's actually convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number 1 for next season. But I don't think he'll be our number 1 next season, De Gea, because Solskjaer said not so long ago that he's chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 goalkeeper for next season. Brandon Williams looks like he's going out on loan to Southampton. It's the right decision to put him out on loan to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Williams seldom plays for us. He's our 3rd choice left back. Phil Jones, I want us to offload him in this summer transfer window. You know, Phil Jones has always been inconsistent, plus he doesn't get in our 11, and he was out of injury for a while last season. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured, 10 years at the club. We got him from Blackburn, was it, back in 2012. We're loaning Tuanzebe out. I'm expecting Dalot to leave. He was out on loan with AC Milan. I'm expecting us to get rid of Andres Pereira permanently. He was out on loan with Lazio. Lingard, it's looking imminent now he's leaving. I think we want from between 25 million to 30 million for Lingard. West Ham want him. Lingard was out on loan with West Ham last season, and he made a fantastic impact. But not so long ago, Lingard told Solskjaer in a meeting that he wants to stay at Man United and he demanded regular game time. And he said we offered Lingard a new 3-year deal worth £130,000 a week. The reason we loaned Lingard out in January was because he got frozen out of our squad. You know, Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. We could offload Paul Pogba in this summer transfer window. I'm hearing that we've offered Pogba a huge contract. Is it worth like 22 million a year? I think that's on social media. Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. And we actually do fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. Was it last month? It said we wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth 104 million. Sky Sports News did say that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. We've set the price for Paul Pogba, it's £50 million. It says Paul Pogba will decide on his future this week. So he'll decide whether he's staying at Man United or going to PSG. Foot Mercato recently said that Pogba wants to join PSG this summer, and Man United could demand 4 players as part of the Pogba swap deal with PSG. Julian Lawns did say, didn't he, not so long ago, that PSG are considering a move. They've stepped up their interest, and Fabrizio Romano said PSG are interested in signing Pogba, and they've made contact with Pogba's representatives. Mino Raiola at one point held talks with PSG's president, but PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. And throughout the Euros, Kim Pembe says that Paul Pogba would be welcome to PSG. He's had a long-running transfer saga. He hasn't only been linked to PSG, he's been linked to Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. He's been linked to Barcelona and Inter Milan before. But I hope Pogba remains at Man United for next season because he is an imperative player. And Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. He does bring creativity to the team. At one point last season, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he was a big miss. Mino Raiola did a lot of talking last season, and he's been working hard to get Pogba out of the football club. Pogba's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined, and he's our most expensive sign at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Donny van der Beek, you know, I think there's a very good chance that we're going to offload him because quite clearly he's unhappy at Man United. You know, Van der Beek has only endured 1 full season at the club. But he hasn't been given enough starts. I recall Van der Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season. He's made, 36 appearances in all competitions, but most of them appearances have come from the bench. Before the Euros, it said that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. And he did get ruled out of the Euros through injury, so he'd have been disappointed with that. I expected Van der Beek to start a hell of a lot more games than he has done, because at the end of the day, we got him for 40 million for Man Utds. with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United till 2025. And he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Quite a few weeks ago now, I heard rumours of Daniel James possibly leaving. Like I've already said, there's a lot of players that will stay at Man United, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. We've had the disappointing news regarding Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is going to be out until October. Marcus Rashford will undergo surgery on his shoulder. Hundreds of people showed their support for Rashford at the memorial, because obviously Marcus Rashford got racially abused after England's loss to Italy in the European Championship final. Rashford wasn't the only one racially abused. Saka was racially abused, and so too was Jadon Sancho. Rashford, Sancho and Saka missed all of their penalties. But yeah, he's going to be a big miss, Rashford, because he is an imperative player. There is aspects of his game that I've got to improve, because he's endured his bad periods at Man United. I think we need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side, because that's where he seems to be more effective. But, next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and he is aware of that. Next season will be Solskjaer's 3rd full season at Man United, because he's endured 2 full seasons at the moment. It's very imperative that we start off next season strongly, because if we start off next season badly, then Solskjaer will be under pressure. Solskjaer's ambition for next season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. Next season, Solskjaer has to win a trophy, because he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years ago now. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Like I've said, Ollie does need more time. I think he does deserve at least next season. There's United fans that are Ollie in. There's also United fans that are Ollie out. But I can assure he's not the long-term manager for Manchester United. I've criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. But despite that, I still think he's our best manager since Ferguson. He's been in charge of the club now for almost 31 months, which is over 2 years. I think Ollie has under a year left on that current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. In reality, I think it's a mistake giving him the new contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. But I do have my concerns about Ollie. But there's also quite a lot of things I've got to credit Ollie for as well. Like I've already gone through with you. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. You've got to turn around and say Solskjaer has done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, because he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. In a way, I'm surprised that Solskjaer is still Man United manager, because we've endured his bad periods under him where he's been close to being sacked. and obviously we lost the Europa League final last season to Villarreal. But the reason Solskjaer is still Man United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. And he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. But we did appoint Ole in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. You know, when we have been inconsistent, no, not all of the blame has stemmed from Ole. There's obviously certain players that have had to take responsibility. I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. Like I've mentioned so many times, the Glazers, they've been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. Because the Glazers have put us in so much debt. And obviously a lot of United fans have been demanding the Glazers out. There was a lot of United fans protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford towards the end of last season. Solskjaer did reveal that the Glazers apologised because there was plans to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, and it says the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United but for only £4 billion. But yeah, they've been with us for 16 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005, and Woodward, he's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. Woodward has had a 16-year association with Man United. By the way, Woodward is leaving Manchester United, which is good news from Man United perspective. Ole is our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson. The three managers we've sat since Ferguson: we sat David Moyes after 10 months, we sat Louis van Gaal after 2 years despite him winning the FA Cup, and we sat Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years despite him winning 3 trophies and getting a second place finish in his first season. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. We must have spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years. We've brought around 41 players in. We have overpaid for players in recent years. In that aspect, the blame stems from the board, and our recruitment was poor for such a long time. But like I said, we haven't been the same team since Ferguson. You know, a lot of United fans predicted it was going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which it obviously did. Ferguson enjoyed, a 26-27 year tenure at Man United, won 30 odd trophies including 13 Premier League titles, so reflecting on that, he brought success to the club. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United, so that just indicates it takes certain managers time to settle in. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.